You're listening to the Jay and Dan Podcast.
Dance. Dance.
It's the week of January 21st, 2019. We're almost done the year.
It's almost over. 2019. What a year it was for us.
And I have to say, I got a few tweets about this. I really f***ed up last podcast.
Big time. This is all your fault, buddy. And I had a bad feeling about this.
So last week I remarked, I said, hey, this winter has been pretty easy. And we are now in an Arctic chill.
What were the exact words? I wish we had them, but they were basically, you were saying that it was mild. It was
no bad weather.
No bad weather.
What it was.
Thank you, Christoph. No bad weather. You implied that we would be just sailing through till the summer. And next thing you know, the f***ing cold snap kicks us right in the nards.
Yeah, it feels like I'm back in Fort McMurray where it would be like minus 40 regular. It's been around minus 35 with the wind chill.
Yeah.
Here in Toronto, the GTA.
Yeah, it's been brutal. Don't feel sorry for us because you're probably listening somewhere much colder than this place. But it was a shocker last night. And I'm not talking about the shocker.
No.
It was a shocker.
Yes.
When I went from my garage to my house last night, I remember thinking, Jesus f***ing Christ. It is colder than
It's an instant pick-me-up, and it feels like your face feels like you just had plastic surgery because everything feels tight. You're like, wow,
Yeah.
I bet I look great right now.
It definitely wakes you up.
Yeah.
It definitely wakes you up. No question about that. I can't dispute that. But I'll take slightly warmer temps, personally. I'll take slightly warmer temps then.
But we got some snow, so I got another toboggan day, and that was good. But then you're on the hill, and you're like, this is hell because it's minus 20.
Yeah, like my daughter wanted to play outside today in the afternoon, and I'm like, we're not, nope. And then she's like, well, I'm standing here. I'm like, well, I guess let's see how long you last then. And I went into the house. No, I'm just kidding. I forced her to come in.
The schools, most schools closed. I'd never seen that. They closed not because of snow. It wasn't a snow day. It was a cold day.
See, what I notice is that some of in the GTA anyway, the public schools were open, but the buses weren't running. So what if you needed a bus to get to school? You just hop in a cab?
You just
as like a 7-year-old? Hey, need that cab. Where are you going? To school. Step on it, buddy.
So cold, about 70% of the pipes in my house are frozen. Luckily, the shower works, the works, and the kitchen sink works.
Are you living like outdoors?
It's
Are
an
you living
old
in a
house.
Camp?
It's an old house, and the way they built them, the pipe is like up against the exterior wall. So if it gets cold outside, it just freezes. It's
Insulation.
It's a poor design. And the back window in my car cracked because of the cold.
Yeah, that I've never heard of.
I know. I let the guy, Brian, at my dealership know, and he's like, I've never seen that. It's covered by warranty. Just drop it off.
Brian's a good guy.
He's a great guy.
I've actually never met him.
Oh, he always has a loaner ready for me. Ajax Hyundai. Go there.
That would be awesome if you started doing ads for Ajax Hyundai for the rest of your life. Dan O'Toole, like a 79-year-old Dan O'Toole. Dan O'Toole here for Ajax Hyundai. You know me as the voice of Ajax Hyundai.
I'm the voice of Talk Sports.
Kids like 30 years from now will be like, who's that old guy that's in all those Ajax Hyundai ads on my virtual phone? Oh, he used to be on a sports highlight show with this tall, skinny guy.
And why does he have a cowboy hat on?
Yeah, why does he have a cowboy hat and a big dip in and a silvery beard and a big belly and a belt buckle that says D.O. on it?
Hey, you want a f***ing car?
Want a Hyundai space floater? Then come to Ajax Hyundai. I'm Dan O'Toole. You know me.
I bought a car here when they still use gas. Remember that? Of course you don't.
Dan, would you like to maybe do another take? Because we had a script for you. You. I don't make scripts. I make gold.
Commercials. You want a new hoverboard, kids? We got them down here.
Ajax Hyundai hoverboards. Hey, all you people in Ajax. You want a pair of space floater boots?
Screw Toyota. Hyundai has it covered.
The Koreans got your space floater boots, so get down here to Ajax Hyundai. I'm Cowboy Dan, and you know that I'll tell you that hey, you tell him I sent you.
Hyundais are all we saw in South Korea. That's all anyone drove.
Yeah, and Kias.
Which is the same company, essentially, I guess.
Yeah. Hyundais and Kias.
Hey, I want
Hyundais.
Hyundai, like Sunday.
Exactly. That's
So I guess I should not say the company.
We've been saying it wrong the whole time.
Mr. O'Toole, it's Hyundai.
It's Hyundai.
I taped it. I'm out of here.
That's right. It's on tape. I'm getting the out of here. Sir, you're a 79-year-old bachelor who lives in a small house
With
that is
frozen pipes.
159 years old with frozen pipes. Where do you possibly have to be? You. I'm going to go take a hairdryer and melt my pipes right down. And then who'll be laughing? Me. Cowboy Dan.
I wanted to hear something. This was sent to us,
Oh, I can't wait.
and I haven't heard it yet. So last
Christoph,
week
you got it. This is exciting.
we came up with we wanted to open our own liquor stores, and you asked people to send in songs or
Like a jingle.
yeah, and someone did that. The North Coast Band. You've heard this?
I've not heard it either.
Wow.
Now, Stoff, you've heard it?
Yes, I listened to it before.
And?
It's awesome.
Now, Danny Wright, our social media guy, is just a terrific person. Looks like a young Connor McDavid. So Connor's 22, Danny looks like 18. He was raving about this. So I'm so excited to hear this.
Speaking of Danny's age, he has like a. If you said he was 30, I'd say okay. If you said he was 20, I'd say okay. He's like an undetermined age.
That's the way you want to be.
Yeah.
Whereas Cowboy Dan and his sidekick, old Squealy J, they look old as
Yeah, Danny, 45. Sure, I believe
I
you.
don't know if I'd say he's 45.
40.
30, 35 tops.
Okay, 35. But he could also pass for 25, which he might be.
He probably is 25. So he's probably insulted that we said he could pass for 35.
This would be great if we were bouncers and someone. So how old do you think he is? I don't know.
He could pass for 35. You're in, buddy. Get in here. You don't want to see my ID? Off. Get in here.
Come on into the liquor bar, which is, I think, this is what the jingle's for.
All right, let's
Let's
hear
hear it.
Here we go. The jingle for our liquor store coming soon. Wait, should I say it?
Probably say it.
It begins to dance.
Jane Dan's liquor bar. Talk skate, get your dots. Jane Dan's liquor bar. Where the fun starts. Jane Dan's liquor bar. Bring your best times, bro. Jane Dan's liquor bar.
Holy crap! How about those synths?
The North Coast Band.
Check them out if you haven't already. That was fantastic. I love the harmonies.
That blew me away.
Beautiful stuff right there. And they got it downtown Scarborough. That'll be our
And
first
that is-
location.
So they sang one for the liquor hole and the liquor bar. Is that right? Was I
I think
hearing?
it's all one thing.
Yes, yes.
It's all one thing. If we call it the liquor hole, you can come by and check it out.
I'm checking out these guys here. Let's see if they've.
Toolsy, can you flip Christoph our guest's number today?
Yep.
Because so what happened was I had a phone. Okay, it's a Bell phone. Okay, and then all of a sudden I couldn't make calls on it. Like I could make calls, but no one could hear me talking. As it turns out, the motherboard on my iPhone went. So I got a loaner phone, and then I dropped the loaner phone, and that smashed, and it has no contacts on it. Producer Tim says I have a phone problem.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe you're right. Okay, so that's been flipped. Our
How's
guest
your
today.
motherboard?
It's not good.
You sounded very scientific by saying that.
That's what they told me. I don't even know what that is.
It's a piece of something inside your phone?
I guess.
Yeah, I got motherboard problems.
Yeah, I'm a motherboard cacked out.
You a big motherboard guy or what?
Motherboard's gibbled on the fritz.
Here we go. You want to hear about the North Coast?
Love it. The
Oh,
North
no.
Coast Band.
No, this is a different band. Never mind.
Crack researcher Dan O'Toole. And welcome to the show, the North Coast Band. Guys, how did you come up with the Jane Dan Liquor Bar song? I have no idea what you're talking about, Dan. We're not that.
I think we got the name of the band wrong. I think it. See, there's a Northern Coast. I think they're the Northern Coast.
Well,
Their YouTube says North Coast.
It does. Okay.
boy, this is going
Maybe they
really
made a
well.
mistake.
They're going to be happy with us. And went to all that trouble to put that synth-heavy, harmonized, beautiful jingle together, only to have us the name of the group. The North Coast Band. I dig it, man. That was really cool. Thank you, guys. Hey, we have another thing. Should we just fire up podcast news stuff? I love the jingle. Oh, you got him on the line? Oh, okay, perfect. Our guest today is Jeremy Taggart, longtime friend of Jay and Dan, Sports Center with Jay and Dan, presented by Tim Hortons, Fox Sports Live, all the different shows we've hosted. And terrific guy, hosts an amazing podcast with our other friend Jonathan Torrance called Taggart and Torrance. Check it out if you can. They were on a live tour of the West Coast over the past week and had an unfortunate thing happen while they were in Vancouver. Their van was broken into. Things were stolen, and they had to cut the tour short. So we're going to talk to him about it, make sure he's okay, that John's okay. And
First off, that's
just such a disastrous thing. Why?
and people were like hanging out in the van.
I think they slept in the van. I think someone slept in the van. So we're gonna check. We're gonna check in on our buddy, Jeremy Taggart. Jeremy Taggart, how are you, my friend?
Hey, boys. How are you? I'm good.
We were a bit somber there, but because we don't know the details of what happened last week. We did say you guys were on tour on the West Coast. You were doing a bunch of dates, but you had to cut it short because the van was broken into. Can you tell us more?
Well, I mean, the shows were great, and we were getting ready to go to Penticton after our Vancouver show, and we went up to the parking level at the hotel, and somebody had broken in and slept in the car and took some stuff, and just it was a bummer, to have everything kind of trashed a little bit. But I mean, the person clearly needed to use it, so by the time we had to deal with the damage and the police report and all that stuff, there was no chance we were going to make it to Penticton, so we just had to cancel the show, and we made a donation at the Salvation Army, and I guess it's just hopeful. One of those things that you just kind of sad, but it kind of realizes, you realize that those are things that we don't have to deal with, the desperation and stuff.
Yeah,
like
that person, because that That takes a lot for someone to just sleep in the vehicle. They obviously had to be very desperate if they weren't concerned about someone stumbling upon them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that to just kind of to go in there and sleep for more than whatever, and to think anybody could come at any second. I can't imagine that. So it was a bummer, but the tour was great and the shows are really good, and we have more next month in Alberta and Saskatchewan and Manitoba too. So these things happen in Vancouver, man.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, they can.
Vancouver and Montreal are both kind of bad for getting your stuff broken into. So just keep in mind if you're ever in those cities to park in places that are either well lit or at least. I mean, this was a gated security area, like the one.
That's what I can't understand. You were in a hotel. Like a parkade, essentially?
Yeah, and it was like on the 5th floor with a gate on the 5th floor. So this person probably had a key or had access to open the gate. So, or maybe waited for the gate to open and snuck in, or who knows.
Are you able to get back what was taken from you?
No. It was one of those things where it's like, that's unfortunate, where the police say. But there's really nothing they can do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Even if they see the people on camera, because when I lived in in Marina Del Rey in L.A., I had this really nice wagon that my kids love where you take it to the beach and stuff. Someone just came in, they saw them on the camera, and the cops, they're like, well, we're never going to find that person.
Yeah, never.
How are we ever going to find that person? So I'm just like, okay.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
So, oh, well.
Now, on a positive note, you said the shows leading up to that were very good. Tell me about the shows.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what cities?
We started in Nanaimo, so we've never been there.
Is Nanaimo home to the Nanaimo bar?
It is.
It's got to be, right? Okay.
It absolutely is. So Nanaimo's a bit of a kind of. Got a little bit of the hammer of the island vibe, the Hamilton kind of vibe.
That's what it says on the welcome sign. Nanaimo, the Hamilton of Vancouver Island.
There's that a little bit where it's kind of like apparently it's the only city in Canada with its population that doesn't have a proper hockey rink. So apparently there's some stodgy cats at City Hall that don't like change in a certain manner. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So Nanaimo might be just more kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just kind of that old school thing where it's like, we don't want anything. We don't want hockey.
Don't bring anything to our town.
We got a barn. Look at the barn. It's like one of those super old, decrepit ones.
Just a Quonset.
With the soft drink machine that's got the chicken soup flavored hot chocolate. And then we did Victoria, which was awesome, and
I love Victoria.
Vancouver was great. So and the weather was insane. It was like plus 11 the whole time. Sweaters, man.
And then
my brother was golfing last week in Vancouver. He went skiing one day and went golfing. That's unreal. Did you get to golf?
Yeah. What's that?
Did you go golfing?
Oh no. I wish that would have been nice, but. Maybe next time. Maybe I doubt it will be that warm in Edmonton or Calgary, Regina, or Winnipeg in the next run.
Those are some of the cities you're going to? Tell us.
That's the next run, yeah.
Yeah. The prairies. So what happens? You fly into Cowtown and you get in a car and you just start driving, baby.
Yeah, we got a couple 8-hour bangers. Yeah, see that? Have you guys done that ever?
Oh, I've done lots of driving through the prairies.
No, but you two driving for like 5 hours.
No, we did. We would do long drives on the craft tour, but we had someone driving a bus, and we just sat in the back and had fun.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we were spoiled.
Everything's cool, and the next round will be great. And bummer that happened, but. Hopefully that guy can get his life together.
Yeah, well, that's a good way of looking at it, I'd say.
I think I'm pretty sure they took like 50 TNT toques So there
Oh,
might
wow.
be an explosion of TNT tubes around like Hastings.
Well, I mean, that's one way to advertise, I guess.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's
Well, actually, it turns out to be my brother Sean that did it.
right.
You can see some squeegee guy next time you're there in his TNT pod hat.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, I kind of like that idea, running
Yeah.
into one of those buds.
Yes.
So now, and then you go from the beautiful 11 above West Coast weather back to
Yeah.
this deep freeze that
The
we're in.
frozen polar vortex thunder.
Oh, my God.
Did you see Trump's tweet about the weather?
Could you use that global warming,
Yeah.
something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Here's another chance to make a right-wing gag.
Yeah.
Get the base all fired up.
He's full of them.
Yeah, man, they love it. I don't know what I was kind of like joking around, like if you had a MAGA hat on, like people think you're an idiot. Like, how could you wear it in public? But then there's people wearing them all the time down there, like
Oh,
in
yeah.
airports and stuff. It
Yeah.
boggles my mind. If you're okay enough to just say like, I am I'm proud of it.
Kanye West wearing
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Didn't he throw it out though?
Oh, probably. I mean, I don't know. That guy.
Depends on the week.
Jeremy, I went to New York a couple weeks ago, and I saw Starbucks across the street from where I was at, and it was in Trump Tower. I'm like, I got to go in there.
Yeah.
So I went in, and there's obviously those MAGA hats everywhere. And in the Trump bar, it's the saddest looking bar on earth. All the Trump supporters are hanging out at the bar. And I wanted to go down and just eavesdrop, just listen
sit
in
there.
to see
Well,
what the
no,
hell is
like-
going on.
Hear some quirk jokes about Hillary Clinton.
Just go and dressed as Hillary.
Every
That'd be
single
good.
time. There's no collusion. The guy hitting his friend on the back.
And big, huge assault rifles out front. The cops are holding, and I guess they'll be there until Trump passes away, because until the end of
Yeah,
his
he's
days.
got security detail till he
Yeah.
dies. Yeah.
KGB.
KGB, that's right.
Well played.
What a guy. Oh, Taggart.
Oh, boys.
Yeah.
So you guys excited for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen the Patriots lose. I'm not going to lie
Yeah,
to you.
no kidding.
I have nothing against the Patriots.
No,
I
it's
really
just-
don't have a dog in that fight.
No.
I'm done with the Patriots. They've had enough success. I'm good with it. I don't get enjoyment out of Brady getting that comeback to happen. Yes.
I'm starting to think that Belichick has like a time machine. You know what I mean? Because of that, just so consistent.
Like Biff in Back to the Future 2,
Yeah,
where he'd learn
like
all the scores.
There's
and
always
stuff.
something that call where he just didn't touch the ball or did that. Like
Yeah.
that was just so classic Belichick.
Yeah,
like,
it
I'm
was.
going into the time thing and let's fix
Or
this.
the offside call on the
Yeah.
Chiefs defensive lineman, where you're like, oh, game over. No,
Yeah.
game not over.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
And the personnel that Brady does it with from year to year, like a lot of times you're like, oh, that's his first catch of the season. Oh, it's a game-winning catch. Oh, okay.
Well, there's
He's
always
got
a couple of stars, and then there's like
Two actual zombies, like on linebackers that aren't alive.
he'd love it. He'd absolutely love it. Vince Wilfork dies. He's back now. He's a
Belichick has,
zombie
like,
now.
He figured it out. He's got dead guys on the team now.
Once the Rams won, I wanted Breeze, to get. I was
Yeah.
like, either want Breeze and Brady, or I want the new kids. I want Goff
Yeah,
and Mahomes. I just
I
want
know.
the new guard. So now it's like 2 weeks of Brady, like, oh, the greatest of all time. We already know that he's the greatest of all time. Like,
And he's got the big face always, the
oh,
smile.
yeah, the smile, the
And
clothes.
for a guy that
fancy
successful,
hair,
no.
Fancy
hair plugged up hair.
But that's the
whatever's
thing. I was
going
just
on.
gonna say, he's made so much money. He's been so successful, but it still looks like he cuts his own hair. I don't
know,
get
but
it.
I think he's added extra hair every year.
Yeah.
So there's just like that now. It just kind of looks like there's so much hairline put in there that there's no normal cut you can deal with.
You got the Ray Bork. You got
He's like, I want to go full chimpanzee here. I want to bring it down at the front.
Now, what's your Super Bowl ritual? Do you have a party? Do you go to a party? We have to work. We
Yeah.
watch a bit of the game at
Which I like,
home, and then
actually.
we go into work.
Because we usually bring in chili tools. Are you going to bring in your chili this year?
I got to find that recipe. If I can find the recipe.
So yeah, that's the move. You just make some chili and hang out with the family, and watch the commercials with the gang.
Yeah. Now,
The
what's
kids? Who's the halftime this year?
Maroon 5.
Maroon 5.
Yozers. Not good.
Yikers Island.
Like, everyone's like, no, they're good. I'm like, do they have, there's the Moves Like Jagger song. Like, do they have 5 hit songs?
They have a lot
They've
of-
been
yeah.
around for like 20 years.
I know.
Yeah.
I
So
used to
they have
hang
a
out
hit
with those
every
guys.
year.
They
Yeah.
they did that show with the Moncton Rolling Stones show with the Hip. Remember that big one out east?
Nope.
Anyway, I played this show with the Hip and the Stones, and then Maroon 5 were on it. And I knew the guitar player a little bit in L.A. and hung out with him. He's a nice guy. But we're just sitting there at catering, and the Adam Levine guy's talking about like his latest conquests with women. He's like, "Oh, did you see her? Did you guys see her? Oh man! And there's this other one last week. Did you guys see her? Oh man!
And now he's all married up. He has kids, I believe, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
it's just like
He had a run. I'm pretty sure he had a good run.
going through his Rolodex of
With the rest of the
Girl.
band, I'm sure the rest of the band's like, great, we got the Stranglers. Thanks a lot.
Jeremy, you've experienced it. You've lived it. Of all the Canadian music rock stars, who was the best? Who would be the Adam Levine of Canada
What do you mean, like
back in the day?
Like,
Yeah,
with
getting the
big
ladies.
wheel?
Who was just
Who's getting all
had
the
no
ladies?
problem with the
Has
ladies?
a big wheel?
Steve Anthony.
Burton Cummings?
Dan
well,
Gallagher, rest in peace.
Depends on what you guys are, where the bar is. I don't know. Depends, because there's like there was guys that like didn't have a lot of success, but always had lots of women, or vice versa, women with guys. I don't know. Ian Thornley was probably out there a lot.
Thornley.
I could see that.
Good for him.
He's the lead singer of
Band called Thornley?
Thornley. And what was his other
I'm
band?
trying to think who else was like always wheeling.
Big Wreck. Wasn't he the lead singer of Big Wreck?
He had like a shirt, ABW, always be wheeling.
Yeah. Who's got that badge?
He's in the bathroom. He's like, I like that song. Play that song. What's that song called? That tune? Play that tune.
I'm looking it up right now.
He's in the
Blown
can singing it to
Wide
try and
Open. Blown Wide Open was their big hit,
He's
1998.
wheeling from the bathroom outside.
Just waiting for the ladies to come
And
out.
that song is called That Song. I love that song.
That's him taking a pee, singing it all loud.
Wait, you're that guy? Yeah.
And the Oaf, My Luck Is Wasted. So those were their 3 big hits
Oh,
off
yeah.
their. One was from 97, the other was from
Oh, he's
98.
still going. He's still rocking it. Big Rex still tour, I think.
Still doing their thing.
Yeah, good guitar player.
What do you make of, speaking, you're going through the prairies. Are you guys making a stop in Moose Jaw, Jeremy?
No, we're just Regina. Like I said, it's Edmonton, Calgary, Regina, and Winnipeg.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you go through Moose Jaw on the way to Regina, if you happen to go that way, did you
Yeah.
know that Burton Cummings just moved to Moose Jaw
Really?
from the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles? He was living in the valley for like the last several decades, apparently.
Maybe he's trying to go off the grid.
I don't know. Because he got into a bad car accident apparently last year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Well,
Like,
that one.
really bad. But I think he's okay now. I think he's
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, I don't know if he just decided I needed a lifestyle change or something. Like it's weird because
Weird,
he's
yeah.
from Winnipeg. So I was like, well, I could see him having gone back to Winnipeg, but then Moose Jaw is an interesting choice.
It is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, it would be so cool if you guys could hang out with them, talk a little,
take
share
him-
the land,
Take him to the track.
take him to the track, spend some money on the ponies, that kind of thing.
Take us to Salisbury House,
Oh yeah, he's got money in that.
right?
Yeah, he's got money in that one. You're going to the Peg. It's perfect.
You guys like the Salisbury thing? You can have a steak, guys.
Are they
And
still?
sitting in there with them?
Are
You
the
guys can have
burger?
a hot hamburger? I'm gonna get a hot hamburger.
The burgers at the Salisbury House were called, like the main one. Do you know this, Toolsy? What was?
Well,
They're-
didn't they have like the hot hamburger with the 2 patties with the gravy on it? That's classic, no?
Well, I don't. I just know that their main burger was called the Big Nip.
The Big Nip.
I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm getting that right. The Big
stuff.
Nip. Yeah.
I love it.
I hope
I
I'm
love everything
right.
Burton.
Yeah, he's great.
Jeremy, we got to let you go. We got to get to our next guest. When does
problem.
the next tour start? The next leg?
It's the end of Feb, so yeah.
Awesome.
TaggartandTorrens.ca for all your details.
Perfect.
And just look out for someone with if you need a Taggart and Torrance toque on the streets
Yeah.
of Vancouver.
Absolutely, they're there.
Thanks, buddy.
See you, bud.
See you, bud.
That's Canadian rock legend Jeremy Taggart.
I was right. The Big Nip at Salisbury House. That's what you get.
Seems to be a bit of an odd
Here's my
name.
take. The day that Burton invented the Big Nip, he had just come face to face with a huge, beautiful set of areolas, big nipples. And he thought to himself, you know what, as a tribute to those nips, Daddy's calling his burger the Big Nip.
And people are like, do you maybe want to make a difference? No. That's
Bert-
the name.
Burton,
That's
I know you're
crazy.
in charge, but maybe we come up with something a little different. That could also potentially be offensive.
So I mentioned our next guest. It's kind of like the Jeff O'Neill podcast last
Yes.
week. We're tacking on an interview from our TV show.
That's right, and it's a good one. And the reason we wanted to do it is because today, just as if this season for the Edmonton Oilers could get any weirder, this was the weirdest day of the season, and that's saying something because it started with Connor McDavid. You know, them speaking to Connor McDavid in practice, and he was sort of like, you're either with us or against us in that dressing room. And then I think his words were misinterpreted. Like, it was almost like people were like, oh, is there a rift in the dressing room? And then everyone was like, no, like, it's not like that at all.
Well, then he said, he's like
like,
well,
no.
yeah, that doesn't apply to this room.
No, exactly. So he cleared that up. That was kind of weird. And then they put Ryan Spooner and I believe Ty Ratty on waivers. So the thing with Spooner is Spooner's the guy they got for Ryan Strome, and Ryan Strome's the guy they got for our friend Jordan Eberle. So bottom line is they got nothing for Jordan Eberle.
I know.
So that's bad. And then the weirdest thing was the afternoon where their goaltender from Finland, Mikko Koskinen, who has been good this year. He has been good. They took a chance on him. He's been good. They signed him to a 3-year deal worth like $4.5 million a season. And this is after playing like 27 games.
And everyone's saying they overpaid by at least $1 million.
Yeah, everyone's saying that. Well, I think the main crux of the issue is why now? Like, why not wait till, I don't know, later? Like, the season's a disaster. Having said that, they're only a couple points out of the playoffs. It actually blows my mind.
Miro Koskinen, when you see him without his helmet on, unlike Danny, our social media star, he does
Oh, he doesn't look 30. He's 30. He looks
47.
Yeah, he looks mid-40s, like us. Anyway, Dustin Nielson, who's TSN radio host in Edmonton, also former Fort McMurray Oil Barons play-by-play guy
That's right.
like
He
Dan.
had the job right after me.
He's an Edmonton radio star, and we wanted to bring Dustin on because we wanted to talk about the Oilers. Man, it must be tough covering that team this year.
Yeah, and he talks about them every single
Every day he's got
So
to talk
he
about
knows
these
what's
guys.
on Oilers fans' mind.
Yeah. So we wanted to chat with him. So without further ado, here's Dustin Nielson. This is exciting because this is a guy we've wanted to have on for a little while. Dustin Nielson, TSN 1260 Radio in Edmonton, recently called the Spengler Cup for us on TSN, did a great job. Dustin, you've been covering this team for a while. You've been covering Connor McDavid for a few years. Are you surprised he remains this committed to this franchise after everything they've gone through the last couple of years?
Yeah, you could make an argument that he's like the only person in the city that remains committed to this franchise, but he does. I mean, and because of the way he is, you just want to believe in him. I think the entire city wants to believe in him. They want to believe what he's trying to say as well. And You know, the fact that, you know, it's not on these guys, it's not on them, it's on the players in the room. But McDavid, he's an exceptional talent, but I think what we see as this team continues to go through hard times here, guys, is that he's probably an even better leader. I think he's done an excellent job as a captain for a very young guy to be put into obviously one of the most difficult spots in the league.
Dustin, I'm going to run through a little timeline here for you. In 2017, Peter Chiarelli, he traded Jordan Eberle for Ryan Strome, who was traded for Ryan Spooner, who was waived on Monday. So in other words, the Oilers gave up Jordan Eberle for absolutely nothing. Is this the worst trade that Chiarelli's made?
Yeah, look, it's tough to lose a Ryan Strome trade twice, but he basically lost a Ryan Strome trade twice. I mean, trading Jordan Eberle for Ryan Strome at the beginning, I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. They're saving some money, but he didn't really do anything with the cap space after, which a lot of people kind of frowned upon it. And then Ryan Strome this year obviously gets off to a tough start. You trade him for a guy who's also off to an awful start. With that being said, Ryan Strome at the end of next season's an RFA. So this is a guy you could have had around for a long time. And then the cherry on top today is that Ryan Spooner gets put on waivers. I'm going to look into the future for you guys here. Nobody's going to claim Ryan Spooner, so he's still going to be at Edmonton Oilers. It's just a matter of where he's going to play within the organization. I don't want to sit here and defend the trade because I didn't like the trade from the very beginning. But at the same time, Ryan Spooner's come in here and it's not like he's got 5 or 10 games with McDavid or Draisaitl or Nugent Hopkins and not produce. I mean, a lot of these guys that bring in here, they try to have them fix their problems in the bottom six. And I don't know if anybody would have told you that Ryan Spooner's a guy who can fix the bottom six. So it's not really fair on the player either, to be honest with you.
Maybe the biggest news from Monday, there's so much news out of Edmonton Monday. They signed Mikko Koskinen, Chiarelli does, to a 3-year deal, $4.5 million a season. Your Twitter reaction was terrific. You said you were mystified by the timing. Tell us why, Dustin.
Well, I mean, first of all, I'm not too sure I know exactly what mystified means, but it was a good word to use at the time. I was actually on the air with Jason Strudwick, like being a guest on Gregor's show today when the news broke, and I thought I was being pranked because the timing of it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why they had to do this today. I don't know if it'll ever actually make sense to me. You look at this guy, and he started extremely well. He had a 7-game stretch that was absolutely phenomenal, but his numbers got worse in November. They got worse in December. And then so far in January, they haven't been very good at all. I mean, he's got an .891 save percentage in January. And I don't think there would have been teams lining up at the end of the season to give Mikko Koskinen big dollars. So the Oilers probably could have got him, even at this number, if he turned his play around and was brilliant in the second half of the season. I don't think he's probably going to cost you much more than $4.5 million then. The other side of it is, what if he continues to trend downwards, like a goaltender who hasn't played in the league in 5 years, and then all of a sudden you're sitting here in April being like, well, we've got this guy for $4.5 million years, and he just got steadily worse throughout the season. So I hope it works out for Koskinen. He's a really nice guy. I mean, obviously you hope it works out for the team, but this is a guy who's played 31 games in the National Hockey League and just got $13.5 million from the Oilers, which, I mean, his agent is an absolute genius. And I think everybody should try to get Mikko Koskinen's agent, to be honest with you.
What an interview.
Unbelievable. Wow.
That was his first ever appearance on our TV show.
That was cool. And probably the last.
We had to...
I did not like him.
We had to tell producer Tim, let's get him. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was against it, but he wasn't for it. I don't know if he's against or for anything anymore.
Yeah, he's kind of like, whatever. You guys are going to do it anyway.
I mean, the thing that really gets me is when I walk in to our office area. We've got all these desks, all these bright, young, talented people working with us. And everyone turns around and says hi when I walk in, except Tim. He's just looking at his tweets. He's on TweetDeck. If you ever need to know anything about TweetDeck, give Tim a call.
It is chaos. It's like the internet blew up or puked on your screen.
He loves it. Just like he likes Michael Bay movies. Anyway, we should probably go.
Yeah, on next week's podcast, I found some gems. We're going to play. I found my an audition tape that I did for my first TV job.
Ooh.
And I found my...
CK DJ.
That was radio. This one's TV. And I found my my demo reel.
Do you have any more CK DJ drops stuff before we go? Guess that's a no.
Stuff?
Yep.
You good,
One
night
second,
night?
1 second.
Oh, he's looking. He's looking.
Stuff's furnace was not working.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
When it was
actually.
minus 35.
Not even a joke. That's not good.
You woke up with icicles on your.
You'll be sleeping in your van.
Icicles in a lot of places.
Ooh.
Tell me more.
Yeah, that sounds hot.
Mark this on your calendars with a big red star.
Oh, what a nerd. Jesus
I
Christ.
promise I'll be a bit better. I think I have not seen these. I just found them, and we can't find a system to play a beta cam tape.
And I think I have a good one too. So I'll
Yes.
bring that. Now, also next week, comedian Mark Forward will be either in studio or on the phone to talk about his new comedy special. And he's a fan of Jane Dan. So
Is it on Crave?
I'm not sure. I don't
Netflix?
think so. I'm not sure. I got to get the intel on that. I know more.
I love comedy specials.
I know more about the North Coast band than I do about. Man, Sebastian Maniscalco on Stern was so funny talking about his part in The Irishman when he was. Did you hear him talking about that?
No, I listened to the first part of the interview. I didn't get that deep.
He got cast in this new Scorsese Netflix movie, and he was in a scene the first day with Pesci and De Niro.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, I didn't know what I was doing there. I wasn't invited into the huddle. He is so funny.
He's
Anyway,
got a new
yeah.
special, but I don't know. It's on a streaming service you can't get in Canada.
No.
Because all you can get in Canada, as we know, is Crave.
Just Crave, baby.
Crave TV.
And by the way, all your CTV shows are streaming too.
Yeah, that's all I do. When kids are asking, hey, what are you watching today?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just streaming.
Yeah, just stream.
My erections have returned.
All right, we got to run.
Have you got your hoverboard yet? No, I'm just streaming.
See ya.